But it's all around standardized services and automated management. So, it's like a three-legged stool. I need virtualization, I need standardization, and I need automation to get the real value from what's going on out there in the cloud. There's a lot of people realizing benefits today, and they're realizing it in kind of three fundamentals. They're realizing it in design. The putting up and tearing down of development and test environments. We worked with one client, Hayden Hill. It used to take them a week to build up a new environment. Now less than 90 minutes, and they can configure a brand new test environment. So it enables them to test ideas out very quickly. In the past, developers would have to put in requests, they'd get the environment set up the way they want, and then they'd go do a test. And then it would be another week. It reminds me of the punch card era. For those of us that were in school in those days, where you had, you could run your application maybe once or twice a day because they were on punch cards. Well, guess what? We went to a world of, instantaneous, let me run the application. Well, guess what? We've got to get the same here with development and test environments. Now, most of us talked about this, and Bill talked about this, infrastructure as a service, platform as a service, business as a service. It looks very simple. And people say, well, that's what I want. Just build me one of those, I'll add the platforms, and there you go. Now, I think in the last couple of weeks, I think if you read the press, okay, there have been some pretty major challenges for people who provide cloud, whether you're Amazon or VMware. We've had a lot of cloud, challenges. And at the end of the day, our business users, they have a level of expectation. Whether it's cloud or in the data center, most business users really don't care. They want to have availability and performance that are tuned to the workload they have. They have varying degrees of requirement around security and isolation. They want to move to self-service. They want to be less dependent on the IT shop. And they want to have those flexible payment and billing options so they're not having to commit everything up front. But still, 80% consider security to be the #1 inhibitor. And given that what's happened in the last few weeks in this space, I don't think that 80% is going to be changing anytime soon. Still a concern. We've seen some breaches. Sony, Epsilon, you've seen these that are causing a lot of concern, especially in a lot of enterprises. And they do worry about the loss of control over the business process as it moves what they believe out there. And the last one is probably the most important one, and that's service levels. There is an expectation here of service levels if I'm running a business. If I'm running a development and test cloud, okay, I have it down, I'm down for 4 hours. You know what, I've got productivity impacts to my people. If I have a business process up and it's down for 4 hours, you know what, I'm not doing business. So service levels we see being increasingly important. Now to be able to handle that, when you decompose what has to be out there in the cloud, there are a lot of critical processes. So just because we've gone to the cloud doesn't mean we get to ignore all of these sets of capabilities that have been built into systems over the last 40 to 50 years. All things around security, things of service quality management, image management, automation of services, power management, data protection, intrusion detection. All of these sets of processes are still required. So we can simplify the notion of cloud, but underneath there's still a lot of complexity here that needs to be dealt with by everyone that is providing capability in the cloud.